Ladies and gentlemen, what a weekend we had at the Red Bull Ring. Let's dive right into the thrilling action of the Austrian Grand Prix, where George Russell and Mercedes celebrated a stunning victory while title rivals Max Verstappen and Lando Norris were left wondering what might have been. First up, George Russell. This was vintage 2024 spec Russell. The Briton was exceptional, running third for much of the race and perfectly poised to seize his moment when Norris and Verstappen collided. Russell's triumph marked his first victory of the season, his second podium in 3 Grands Prix, and Mercedes' first win since the 2022 São Paulo Grand Prix. Not only did he snatch the win, but he also extended his lead over teammate Lewis Hamilton to 26 points in the driver's standings. A massive achievement for George and the team. Now, let's talk about Max Verstappen. The weekend started off fantastically for the 3-time world champion, who dominated the sprint race with a pole and victory and secured pole position for the main event. However, he struggled with his RB20's performance during the Grand Prix and saw his lead slashed due to a rare pit stop delay. This put Norris hot on his tail. Defending against the McLaren, Verstappen collided with Norris at turn 3, resulting in punctures for both. Despite picking up a 10-second time penalty, Verstappen managed to finish 5th, extending his championship lead over Norris to 81 points. Oscar Piastri had an impressive weekend too. After a superb second-place finish in the sprint, he faced disappointment with his best qualifying time deleted for track limits. But the Australian fought back, finishing 7th and eventually finding himself in second place after the Norris-Verstappen collision. This marked his second podium of the season, just 6 points behind Red Bull's Sergio Perez. Speaking of Lando Norris, you could argue he was the fastest driver of the weekend. He battled Verstappen fiercely in the sprint, eventually losing a position to Piastri. Starting second on the grid for the Grand Prix, Norris put immense pressure on Verstappen, launching multiple attacks. Unfortunately, their collision resulted in significant damage to Norris's car, forcing him to retire, his first DNF of the season, ending his streak of scoring in every Grand Prix this year. Haas had a remarkable weekend, reclaiming 7th in the Constructors' Championship from Alpine with their second double points finish of the season. Nico Hülkenberg secured his best result since 2019 with a 6th-place finish, while Kevin Magnussen scored points in 8th, moving Haas closer to RB and pushing them ahead of Alpine. Sergio Perez's struggles continued, as he failed to reach the podium for the 6th consecutive race. Despite an early collision with Piastri, he finished 7th, now trailing Verstappen by 119 points and sitting 5th in the standings behind both Ferraris. Daniel Ricciardo, under pressure to deliver, finished 9th, his second points finish in 3 Grand Prix. Using the undercut strategy effectively, he jumped ahead of the Alpines and showed strong pace, silencing some of the doubters about his future with the team. Aston Martin had a challenging weekend, with high-speed corners exposing their car's weaknesses. Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso both struggled, with Alonso picking up a 10-second penalty after colliding with Zhou Guanyu. Pierre Gasly, celebrating a new multi-year deal with Alpine, secured the final point of the race, marking the 400th point of his career. His intense battle with teammate Esteban Ocon was a highlight, extending his streak of points finishes. Finally, it was a tough weekend for Charles Leclerc, who left Austria with just 2 points. Mechanical issues and a first-lap collision with Piastri forced an early pit stop, dropping him to the back. Despite a strong fight back, he finished just outside the points in 11th. What a roller coaster of a race weekend. Congratulations to George Russell and Mercedes on a remarkable victory, and here's to more thrilling action as the season progresses.